بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب وثبت أقدامنا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, bit by bit, the clock is ticking, and we are getting closer to the halfway of the month of Ramadan, day 13. And you and I want to question ourselves as we challenge ourselves also, that what have we put forward to Allah, that He can, by His mercy, accept and, count us among those that He would certify triumphantly at the end of this month. And, we reminded us that this second 10 days, the second phase of the month of Ramadan is the one to which Allah's forgiveness descends more, and He asks us to run to Him so He can forgive our sins and have mercy on us. And this forgiveness was the one to which we were talking about yesterday when we hit the story of Abib al-Najjar, and how Allah created a scenario for him individually just to attain the mercy of Allah, to attain the pleasure of Allah. And right, Allah eventually rewarded him with Jannah. And we're gonna get to what become of these evildoers who were, unfortunately or fortunately, attained the position of leadership, and some of them were kings, in the city of Antiochia. What becomes of them? Because it is two things. Number one, in Allah la yudiyu ajra al-muhsinin. Allah doesn't look away from the people who are good, people who are just and forbid what is bad. Allah does not deny him reward, because in Allah la yukhliful mihad. This is the promise of Allah that it will never, never deny the reward of people who are just and people who do good things. Allah experimented and pragmatized this for Habib al-Najjar and left it for us as an asar, as a trace of record for people who come after him to learn from. Even though these evildoers, they do not have an ending, and we're going to get to that today. They do not have a trace mark or record, but we have a record of them in the Quran, because Allah wants us to also know that if you have chosen that because you have attained a position of authority, you're going to, be unjust, or you're going to wrong other people and look down on them, then Allah, left it for us to see, the trace record. They do not have an ending because they do not exist, you know. But Allah left it for us to be what we're going to see, that there are people who have come before us, who messages were given to them and they disobeyed, and this is how Allah dealt with them. Then the second part of it is that in Allah la yuhibbu zalimin. Allah does not love people who are unjust. Injustice Allah never loved. Allah said, I forbade injustice upon my own soul. I will not wrong you people. Allahu Akbar. Allah said, when I present two reward to my people on the day of judgment, it is two reward. It's either you do good and reward good, and vice versa. It is two, it is not three. Then Allah said, فَإِنَّهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. I will not wrong them. Allah Akbar. It is not, I will not wrong them. It is what you do that you get. It is what you do that you get. But the content, the constructed part of it is that Allah is the one who is in charge of all of it. The one who would do good. Allah is the one who will guide him to be steadfast and doing good. And the one who would do bad, Allah said, I have blocked their soul. فَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Allah said, we have blocked their hearts. They do not see. They do not see our signs. Allah is the one who also make the one who is doing bad to see what is bad to be good. So, this is for us to know that whatever we find ourselves on, if we receive the light of Allah, we want to hold on to it and pray that He give us steadfastness. Now, today, bi'Iznillah, we're going to transition into what become, because we explained in Allah la yudiyu ajra al-muhsinin that Allah does not deny the reward of people who are doing good, by explaining what becomes the story of Abu Najjar and how Allah gave him Jannah. Before he left the world, he saw his place. And even though he was the only one who saw it with the light of Allah, because remember we said the people of Allah, yanzuruna bi nurillah, they see with the light of Allah. He who doesn't see with his naked eye, but the light of Allah that has descended upon him, he was able to see when the angel told him, Kul kuli kola duhuli kula dil jannata. When they told him that kila duhuli jannah, go and find your place in Jannah. And he said, I only wish that my people see what I'm seeing. Bima ghafara li rabbi waj'alani min al-mukramin. I only wish they see what I am seeing right now. How Allah has chosen me. Allah chose him singularly, Allahu Akbar, out of every other people in the city. So much so that Allah made him run to it. Allah made him run to the goodness, Allahu Akbar. And wow, the question, that begs the big question there is, why did Allah choose him? How? We do not know really, but by his hikmah, but we can pick lesson from the track record and history of this young man. He was known to be one of good character. He was known to be one who is compassionate and stand against injustice. Allahu Akbar. That is why we say to our people that people who have not believed in this world, that we've read their name in history, we leave them to Allah to judge them. If they have fought for what is right, then because Allah doesn't deny people who are, just, then Allah might, have mercy on them. We tell us the story of people who do not pray. The wife of Fir'aun, the people of Musa, the magicians. They do not pray, but Allah give them Jannah. So who are we to say, for example, MLK or people like that are not going to make it to paradise? Who are we? Allah, right? Allah is the one by His mercy, by His ikmah. He put people who He wants in His paradise, Allah. And Allah chose Habib Najjar, even though he has leprosy, even though he was just single, people look down on him. He doesn't have a big wealth, he doesn't have big account, he's not the most handsome, he's not the most intelligent. But Allah, because of his mercy, because he guide wherever he wants, he choose wherever he wants, he chose Habib Najjar out of other people in the city, out of the people who are in position, they are wealthy, the kings. Allah doesn't give them the guidance, but Allah chose him. Then he said, I only wish that they see what I'm seeing right now, how Allah has forgiven me and count me among the ones that He has honored. We pray that Allah count you and I among those that He will forgive and honor Bismillah. Then He proceeded, because Allahu Akbar, Allah doesn't cover up anything. He doesn't cover what is good. He doesn't cover what is bad. Even of so much so, Ya Rabbi, La ilaha illa anta. Even though Allah does not cover up what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion went through and what they uttered, Allah said, we tested them. When Allah was reminding you and I that, do you think you're going to attain a level of piety or a level of those that have come before you, and I will not test you? Allah said, people who have come before you, then Allah is referring to Prophet Muhammad when they were in the battle of Uhud. Allah said, Fazuli Zulu, we shake them, we challenge them. Hatta yakula Rasul, la ilaha illallah. Allah said, up until the moment that Prophet Muhammad himself, he uttered the word, he said, Allah doesn't cover it. Allahu Akbar. Hatta yakula Rasul wallazina ma'ahu, wallazina amanu ma'ahu. La ilaha illallah. Allah said, even the people that were with him that made this statement, not that they were not believers, they were believers, but because the situation was hard, they thought that Allah wasn't with them. Prophet Muhammad and his people, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. One will ask the question, is it that the Prophet Muhammad doesn't know that Allah was with them? Is it that the companion doesn't believe again in the Lord of Muhammad? No, but Allah wants them to say that so we can know that when situations are tight, it is by Allah, and the only thing we can do is to go back to Him. And when they said, Mata Nasirullah, oh Allah, how soon is your support and help coming to us? Immediately, Allah said, Allah inna nasirallahi qaribun. The help and the support of Allah is near. Just be more patient. I am closer. Allahu Akbar. Now, because Allah doesn't cover anything up, He doesn't also cover up what these people have done. The kings and the leadership of Ethiopia that have chosen to kill and execute the messengers of Allah and a young innocent man just because he has supported those who have brought them a message of guidance, a message that was supposed to lead them to the reward that people Najjar got. But they chose otherwise because their heart has been blocked. Instead of them accepting the message, they chose to punish him. Then Allah said, I'm going to set you as an example. Then what becomes of them? But Billah. He said, وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. Allah said, I do not send down upon these people his people. Allahu Akbar. Allah is now qualifying Habib Najjar. If you look at the how there is Domir, he said, Allah call me his people. Allahu Akbar. Before Allah was saying we send to a group of people. Now, because one person has prevailed, has succeeded among group of people, Allahu Akbar Kabira. Allahu Akbar. That's why Allah said, Come min fi'atin qalilatin galabat fi'atan kasiratan bi-iznillah. How many small group of people they succeeded? They were triumphant, and large. They succeeded. A large group of people who outnumbered them. Why? Bi-iznillah, by the permission and help of Allah. Allah said, how many? Just one person. Allah said, if I wish, if all this whole wide world gather against one single person, then I am with him. Nothing, none of you can shake him, and vice versa. This is what we want to pick as a lesson, that even if you are alone, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could be by yourself, and you are fighting a right cause, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Then Allah will make you prevail, because what you are fighting for, it is true. Then Allah said, I do not send down on these people. We do not send down upon these people of Habib, the bad leaders Allah is referring to here. Min ba'dihi, min jundin. Allah said, we did not send after him. After he, Allahu Akbar. Now Allah is referring to him as the one who fight for his cause. La ilaha illallah. Allah has chosen him to be a friend. Allah has chosen him. Though he has been acting good deed, but one single scenario made this man higher rank in the front of Allah. That is why he also said, Abdul-Gafar waja'alani min al-mukramin. Mukramin there is honorable. He knows Allah has honored him because of what he has seen and what has been displayed to him. Then Allah said, after they have killed this young man, innocent young man without guilt, then Allah said, I did not send down any of my angels or soldiers to fight them. Allah said, I did not need to. Why should I send them? I punish them by my own word, because Allah is hungry at them. Then Allah said, Min jundin minas sama. Allah said, we do not need to send angels from heaven, just like we sent down in the battle of Badr. Allah said, we do not need to send down angels to fight them. We do not need so. وَمَا كُنَّا مُنزِلِينَ. We do not. Why should we have to send that? We don't have to. We do not have to send down angels. Why? Because Allah said, because of what they have done that is so disgusting and erroneous. In fact, Allah said, we only uttered the word that the whole city and the leadership should vanish. And when you go to Tafsir, Ibn Kathir actually was of this opinion, that the situation was so easy for Allah not to, we don't want to say Allah with resources, but not for him to add additional punishment to them to send down angels. Now, if you go to the next verse, he said, we don't need to send upon them any soldiers from us to fight for our own cause from heaven. Where they had the same position, we're going to put them in kanat illa soyhatan. Allahu Akbar. Allah said, we only shouted, we only raised our voice in hunger. How would one imagine how Allah's, hunger, how does that sound? And that is why even when Allah said, Iza zulzilu, when the earth is shaking, that is Allah's commandment right there. That is why to say that when Allah speaks upon oppressors, when Allah speaks against people who commit in oppression, it doesn't come easy. It never comes easy. That's why we said, Inna azabahu la shadid. The punishment of Allah is severe, is very hard. The ones that descend in this world and the ones Allah said in the one that descend in heaven, Akbar, is more, very much severe, unimaginable. Then this same thing prevailed. These people, they have chosen to kill the messengers of Allah. Allah said, In kanat illa soyhatan. We only uttered a word that came out of us with anger, that we yell at them. Wahidatan. Just one word, Allahu Akbar. Wahidatan. Allah said, we only said, for example, you look at this tree and you said, you just say, go down, something like that. Immediately, wahidatan, faizahum khamidun, and immediately they were vanished. Allah said, they were vanished. Immediately, everything that they have as a track record, they were erased. They do not have. I don't leave a sign for, the whole city and them. They do not have any lineage. Allahu Akbar. Allah said, because of what they have done, and I am angry at them. Why? Because they have chosen to execute my messengers and my friend unjustly. So because I do not love the one who are unjust, then I'm going to punish them immediately. And we want to pick lesson from there also. The point that Allah made, that I do not need to send angels down. وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَىٰ قَوْمٍ مِّن بَعْدِ مِن جُدٍّ. That I do not need to send. One would have imagined, Allahu Akbar, that just to what's the word? To punish or to demolish a whole city. Allah need angels here. No, no. We should remember the story of Abu Talib when Allah said, "Tabbat yada Abi Lahab wa tabba ma aghna anhu wa ma kasab. Sayasla naran zata lahab." No, no, it's not that one. Allah said, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. That is the story I want to remember. The story of ashabil fil. Allah has to send down, Toyer and Ababil, birds with, burning stone from the hellfire. Allah said, we don't need to do that to these people. It is too easy for us. We only speak. Upon you can see that how severe and how, Allah felt about that. It was Allah, it was so we can say Allah has feeling really. Just to explain the context of it, that Allah said, I don't need to send down angels to fight them. Just by my words, just by my utterance, I demolish the city and the people. And historically, if you read the explanation of this stuff, it said not one single trace was left in that city. Not one single trace was left for people to fall back. Why? Because that is why they said, if you are among the group of people, كل حزب بما لديهم فرحون, every single one will be raised and will be classified among the group that you follow through. كل حزب بما, every group بما لديهم فرحون. That is why they say, if you are among the group of people that are doing bad, while the punishment come down, you would take part of it. You would take part because you chose to be among them and you know that it's bad. But if you have chosen to see a group of people that are good and you follow through, you join them, when the reward of goodness come, you also partake, you will benefit from it because coming fiatin kolila, you have chosen to be among the right group, even though they are small. Allah doesn't care about number. Allah care about the quantity. We also want to remember that this young man, he was chosen. Allah doesn't look at who he is. Allah doesn't look at what he looks like. Allah look at his heart. That is why everything that we do, that we want to put our mind to, we want to have a good intention and know that we are only dealing with Allah. Know what you have with Allah. If your relationship and intention is good, fabihi wanima, hold on to that. If people say otherwise, that is between them. Allah needs here. You don't need people's qualification and acceptance of you. You need Allah's acceptance. And what does Allah feel and think of you? This is what should be in my heart. This is what should be in your heart. That this thing that I'm doing, this group of people that I'm with, this mission that I'm on, that I'm doing, how does Allah feel about it? Am I going to attain the pleasure of Allah with it? Then if the answer is yes, then tubu ilaykum. Go, glad tidings to you. Then run and continue doing that. But if there is a flip flop of maybe, maybe not, then we need to try to step back to it. We need to rather run to what is good for us and know that once Allah's forgiveness reaches us, then it's going to crown us with hikmah. It's going to crown us with kareem, with takreem, with with honor, so that we can continue to do what is good. Allah want to pragmatize how it works. Allah said people that are of good deeds, I made it easy for them. Be easy, be rahmatillah. And Allah said the ones who I guide, the people who guide, people who know or read the Quran. Allah said it's not by their might. It is we that guide them. A close example, we have a friend of ours who shared the story just, recently, I think yesterday or so. He said he almost slept off. He missed Sahur. Yeah, and he said he almost slept off. He would miss Fajr. He wouldn't pray. Then, he was, Allahu Akbar. Then, he was feeling bad. And he said, the only lesson that I picked there is Allah showed me that He's the one who is in charge of everything. Because I used to think that when I wake up, alarm, blah, 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 that is the alarm that wakes me up. But Allah showed me that is the one who takes the life and return it. is the one who wakes up because Allah doesn't sleep anyway. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. He gives us the longevity, the opportunity, and latitude of time to sleep, enjoy while the stars are shining light on us. Though He looked after us throughout the night. Allahu Akbar. Then He said, I learned that Allah is the one who is in charge of everything that is good. So we learn from this that while we are in our struggle, while we are at ease, while we are not at ease, everything Allah is in charge of it. Then if Allah has chosen you, He's going to create the path that which is going to reward you for it. Because it's true. Is that because it is what you bring and your book is presented. If Allah wants good for you, He make you do good and He reward you for that. And if you want to vice versa. Now, while we are doing all of this, we want to pray for a very good ending. In Allahumma inna nas'aluka husnal hatim. Oh Allah, we ask you for a good ending because the ending is the most important. That's why Allah said, Ibudullaha hatta yatiyakal yaqeen. Worship your Lord up until the last moment when the truth knock on your door, which is the death. When the angels of death come to you, then you would know. That's why Allah said, when the angels come to the people of Allah, and Allah said, the angels will tell them, "Fala tahzan." Don't be scared today. Don't be afraid. Allahu Akbar. We know that this moment, what is about to happen, is full of hunger. It's full of hunger and it's scary, but we will make it easy. We will make it easy. Why? Because you have been the one who has followed the guidance. You strive. You made effort while you are in this world. We see what you do, and even the angels will tell them, we were with you while you were in this world. We were your friend, but you couldn't see us. Yeah, you couldn't see us, but we see you. So that's why we know that when we are in closed doors, and when we go back to I think verse 6 of this Surah to Yasin, Allah said He loves the one who in closed doors they chose my remembrance and they know. Allah said, give them that tidings. When you go to I think verse 6, He said, in let me see. Something بالغيب إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب. And I said the ones who have chosen, they are fearful of me in closed doors when no one sees them. Allah sees us in closed doors. Allah said, I love the one who are fearful of me when no one sees them, and they chose to ask for my forgiveness and chose to run, to portray in my remembrance. فَبَشِّرْهُمْ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ. Allah said, give these people glad tidings of my forgiveness. So once we are in any act of worship, it could be prayer, it could be doing charity, you want to know that you are dealing with Allah. Do what Allah would thank you for, not what people would thank you for. Because once people say thank you, that is the end of it. If you do it for people thanking you, that is the end of it. You have no more reward from Allah. But if people did not thank you, you know that, well, Allah, I don't expect anything from you anyway. Ajriya illa Allah. My reward will be from Allah. Know that if Allah thank you, la ilaha illallah. If Allah thank you, then He's going to crown your effort. Allah thank Abibul Najjar. Allah thank him for defending, the messengers and the guidance. Allah wanted to reward him. Then Allah thank him with what? With paradise. Just Allah said, you cannot measure my scale of reward. You cannot. But we pray that Allah, reward everything that we strive to do and, hope to do that, even though we don't know what is going to become of us. Then we're gonna try to wrap this up and stop here today because the next one is Allah bringing us another kind of remote reminder. Allah is giving us another trace of a set of people, or we can say people who are creations of Allah and disobeyed. Allah is going to tell us what how unfortunate for the servants of Allah who have disobeyed. Just to summarize this story of our people Najjar as we wrap up today. There's a lot of lessons in this life. And, personally, I pick lessons and, I'm sure you guys would do also. Then also for people who are around in our world of today to know that number one, we don't know who is who in the sight of Allah. Allahu Akbar. Think of this story of young man Habib. He doesn't look too good. He doesn't look to be the most intelligent. He doesn't have any position of authority. He's just a carpenter, Not that he's wealthy, but Allah chose him. So this is for us to know that Allah, ikhtar Allah, Allah choose however, whoever I want. Allah choose Prophet Muhammad out of all the Anbiya Allah. Allah chose him. He chose him. He said, in the last of all, Allah chose him. Allah doesn't say from the lineage. And that is why Prophet Ibrahim and even Prophet Musa, the people were saying, if Allah is going to choose a messenger, you should be among us. We are more influential, we are more wealthy, And this same thing surfaced when Prophet Ibrahim, up until when they said to throw him in the hellfire, and Allah, because he was speaking the message of truth, Allah said, Kuli naru kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Oh hellfire, become and be mercy to Ibrahim. Why? Because Allah La yudiyu ajra al-muhsinin, the one who has stand with what is true and do what is good. Allah doesn't deny them the word. Allahu Akbar. This is what we are hopeful for. Now, the second lesson is after we have known that Allah choose however and whoever I want, we want to know that Allah's forgiveness supersedes everything. Allah said, the ones who, when they do good, they run back to me. I change their good deeds to bad. Then ihidahum. Allahu Akbar. Ya Allah. Allah said, then I guide them. La ilaha illallah. I guide them. Why? Because they were lost before. Sometimes when you think of things, when Allah's light descend on you, you have a different perception of things. You don't see it the same way people. People say, we see this to be like this. You're gonna say, you know what? This is how I see it. Because why? Yanzuruna bi nurillah. You are saying with the light of Allah because Allah has forgiven you and shed you with His hikmah, with His wisdom, and a different intuition. Then we want to know that Allah's forgiveness, no matter what we have done or who we have perceived ourselves to be, Ya Allah, we should know that Allah has honored us. If Allah has kept us alive, then He still wants to be good to us. Let us know that He's the one. Allah said to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, tell your people, tell them that I am the one who forgive. Remind them, Allahu Akbar, remind them that I forgive. Then, I reward. Think of the story of the people of Pharaoh. They were idol worshippers, magicians. They never prayed. But Allah doesn't look at their past history. Allah told us to live life forward and just understand it. Live forward and don't think of yourself down because of what you have done in the past. I am the Lord of the past, the present, and the future. Then Allah said, tell your people that my forgiveness supersedes of Allah said, don't despair of my mercy. I forgive all the sins. And even while we think, well, I haven't done anything bad. You do not know. You do not see your own heart. You do not see if it's pure or dirty. Run, let us strive. And this is a good time, time for us in the month of Ramadan to run to the forgiveness of Allah so that He can shade us with His mercy and hikmah. Then the last lesson that we learn, there's a lot of lesson there, really, is that we do not want to quantify how Allah works. We do not want to look down on any people. We do not want to think because I know A, I know B today. I am doing this, I am doing this. You do not know your ending. You do not know what is going to become of you. If the kings has been told that they would vanish without any trace, they would have denied it. If someone has told you, some years ago that, you're going to end to be the one who will see the light of Allah and end up in paradise, he might have denied it because he would have looked down on himself like, I'm just a carpenter. I have leprosy, I do not have a best fit. I do not, what is the word that people use today? I do not meet up in society. I do not fit in. Probably would have said that. But Allah said, no. Ya ilaha illallah. You do not fit in there. You fit in with me. Once you fit in with Allah, then everything will take place. Then Allah said, وَبَشِّرْهُمْ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. Allah said, give them that tidings of my forgiveness and a greater reward. We pray that Allah count us among those that He would forgive and He would give us glad tidings of paradise. Even before we leave this world, Allah said, it is easy for me. إِنَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Everything is Allah. Allah is capable of everything. Allah is capable of everything. And we pray that Allah doesn't take us out of this guidance of Islam that we have because we do not know. Because Allah is the one who has guided us. There are people who every single day and night, people tell them what is right, but they chose wrong. Allah keep us here. And we also want to remember, I'd like to close with this, that we might have family members, and this is important to know. Don't look down on them because they are not praying today. You only see yourself. There are companions who run to Prophet Muhammad. One of them, which I remember very quickly, he ran to Muhammad. He said, my mother doesn't pray. I want her to be successful, because they remember that Allah would reward people individually on the day of judgment. So they want goodness for their parent also. Then he said, pray that Allah guide my mother. Then Prophet Muhammad did pray, and Allah guided the mother. So if by any chance you have friends, families, whoever in your circle, and you know that the guidance of Islam is the only thing that Allah would accept, just pray to Allah to guide them, that Allah change their hearts and take them out of darkness. And while we are doing that, we also want to remember that we do not know what is going to become of us. We can only be hopeful that Allah keep us as Muslim, and we can only pray that He doesn't, misguide us after He has guided us, so that we will be among those that were ahiru da'wahum and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. At the end of their statement, when the people of paradise have been given their record and told, given the news of paradise, their ending will be alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. May Allah count us among this group of people, and count us among the Hizbu Muhammad, the group of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that once He intercede for us, we will be among those that will be happy and delighted that truly we have followed the guidance of Allah. Bismillah. We're going to stop here for today. I pray that Allah make this beneficial for you and us. أقول قول هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ending any questions or remarks?
Yes, assalamu alaikum. Which ayat did you finish at?
29.
Okay, so we were just doing 29.
Yeah, I think we found out a little bit on 28, then we moved to 29. It goes 28 and 29.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to verify. Jazakallah khair.
Okay, then. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, what's up, brother? It's 4. It should be more than 4.
You have to stop the recording, Mustafa, since you stopped.